Fremantle Prison operated for more than a century. It was one of the toughest, most primitive jails in Australia. First impressions of the prison are that it's really cold, hard and depressing. But if you look a little deeper, behind some of the heavy cell doors, you can find images of beauty. This is what Ralph Woods came back to see. He painted most of the prison's beautiful murals.
The Screws asked me to put something on the wall to make everybody happy. And my other mate was Reggie Malawi, so they said okay, and they knew that it was closing at that time, which is did make it everlasting to make everybody happy.
I think what Ralph is really trying to express himself in these paintings is that he has been taking away from the Aboriginal traditional environment in the bush. And when you put an ear, you still got that spiritual feeling still within you. And this is what he tries to bring out. And he shows all the other people, Aboriginal people that are in here, that we can still think of our own environment instead of, even though we're locked up in an alien environment of a dominant culture.
This is the first time Ralph's Aunt Kathy has seen his prison murals.
I'm so proud that I can come in and see it. When he sent me home a little photo where him and his inmates they took the photo against it, and he had another painting. And he said, well, I said, one day, I said, I hope I can go in and have a look at it.
She says even though Ralph spent most of his life behind bars, he never forgot his culture.
You know, never forgot the culture of the Aboriginal people. It's always a kangaroo, an emu, black boys, and the hills and trees, and I reckon that is great.
So even though he's been locked up, he's still kept hold of
the culture, yes, the Aboriginal culture.
Prisoners weren't always allowed to paint on the walls. It was only during the last 2 years of Fremantle's operation that inmates were given the privilege. But even before then, a lot of Aboriginal prisoners sought solace in art.
I've been here myself. I've been locked up in a cell up there, here and down that way. And there's really nothing more you could do but paint. But the only thing about the painting is that when you're in here in those days, you never had the money or finance to bring your own material in. And this comes back to when we wanted to sell our paintings so we could have some economic plan for when we go out to settle back in society through white people's eyes. It wasn't done on because the prison system kept our paintings because they said that we used their materials, and we could not sell our paintings because they took the money and practically left us broke. So when we walked out of here, we were still in that same sort of feeling of not owning anything, and we never learnt anything in jail.
The artists soon discovered if they used prison art supplies, their artwork became prison property. That's where Dumbartung stepped in. The organisation was formed 2 years ago to protect the rights of artists in jail. Dumbartung supplies art equipment, organises special grants for accomplished artists, and even holds a prisoners' art exhibition once a year. And most importantly, the prisoners are the only ones who reap the benefits.
The exhibition did run just before Christmas, and one artist in particular, I think somewhere in the vicinity of $10,000 was made just for his own artwork, so he was able to buy his children the presents and, you know, put the food on the table, because that money was signed straight out to his family.
Canning Vale prison art teacher Trax Taylor says the art program benefits the prisoners and the jails.
Well, it helps the prison system in as much that it can, at times, you know, with different circumstances arise, and people need to get out of probably their cell units or anything like that, and it gives them the opportunity to get away from that problem area and come into their art area when they can get back to their creativity.
These artists in Canning Vale prison are working on an exhibition. Unlike the days before Dumbartung, these artists know they'll be able to use their talent to support their families. Others hope to use the money to set themselves up as artists once they're released.
I think it gives any artist a real boost if they sell a piece of work. But I mean, these guys are so disadvantaged because of their situation that it's a very positive thing for them to happen.
With the prisoners' art, it's quite interesting because you see artworks that reflect bitterness, you see artworks that reflect anger and confusion, and again that's been one of the reasons in which this program's been developed. As beautiful as the art is, you can see the bitterness inside people by what these sorts of institutions create. Certainly a way in which people can free themselves from being locked away inside these sorts of institutions by doing artworks that obviously take them back in their minds of, the country and being back on the land and, come again back into terms of coming in touch with their Aboriginal spirit. I don't believe beauty should be imprisoned, and in a lot of cases, a lot of our people are in prison for very trivial offences, ones that reflect just the fact of the economic situation that we're in. And again, beauty should never be imprisoned.